Hey guys, we are live. Let's see, we've already got a couple of people on here already, so thank you for joining us. Let's see who can get on here tonight. We got our expat dinner coming up soon, and I'm going to talk about this several times tonight on the 19th. And if anybody can make it, you're welcome to go. And it's going to be at the Ebb Lifestyle Center Mall. It's in Las Piñas slash Bacor, right next to Alabang, and we will be at Texas Roadhouse at 1:30 p.m. on the 19th. So, and we're also going to have some people from the embassy joining us. So we'll have them on there. Let's see. So who do we got on here now? I know we got some people on here. I know whenever it shows like one or two, there's usually like five or six. It takes a while to catch up. But we got fools on already. We got J Mac OTR. Hit the like button. Thank you, man. Let's see who else we can get on here though. Michael L's on board already. Good. Yeah, it's on my numbers here. It's showing like one or two people, and I know we got more than that already. It takes like a minute to catch up or whatever. But anyway, so we got Michael on here, and Sinful should be on board later, probably. Hopefully, he'll be on here soon. Um, this week here, we've actually had like a very busy week. We've had a lot of people calling. Almost every night, we get 3 to 5 people calling on SRRVs. Craig Jordan's on board. How you doing, Craig? And we got a lot of expats coming to the Philippines, and all of them are telling the same story. Basically, they just have to get out of the United States. It's looking like everybody wants to just fly out of there and get out of there, and that can be kind of concerning sometimes because when all these people leave and they're not paying taxes and they're filling up with all these immigrants and stuff like that, it just gets kind of scary, you know. I should say at least I'm not worried about regular immigrants going there. Um, Steven Stadinsky, good morning from Texas. How you doing, Steven? Philip Massey, hey, and hey, Steve, everyone. Let's see. Howard Brown from Texas. How you doing, Howard? So we got a lot. We got already up to like 12 people already. Thank you, guys. If you guys want to shoot any questions, we're open to any questions as we usually are. Um, we can talk about anything you want except for politics. We'll leave it pretty much open. This week here, I've been waiting for packages. You guys that are dealing with packages coming from the states lately, um, it's really slow. I will say that it's like about 3 months for any package from eBay to come, 2 to 3 months, and some of them get lost. I would say probably a good amount gets stolen, and eventually the people have to refund their money. But I'm having a problem getting packages here, big time. Um, and it seems to be a big slowdown even on Lazada packages lately. So I'm not sure if it's slow because of customs or what's going on, but something's definitely different. Um, Simples is on board, and we got Mike Williams. Good morning from Chicago. I was just reading about that the bus from what's that guy? He sings the song Satellite. Anyway, it was some band um broke down on one of the bridges in Chicago, and they pumped all the sewage into the water below, and one of those tourist boats went through and sprayed them with like God knows how many gallons of sewage. It was awful. It was a long time ago though, but it was an interesting story. Digital nomads, as Dave Matthews bus. Digital nomads explore. I like using Timu now. Just started using. I actually like, Timu is actually pretty good, and they're actually pretty fast. Philip Massey, isn't FedEx the fastest? How do they send Amazon packages? I'm not really sure about Amazon. I never ordered from Amazon. I've ordered from eBay, and they have what's called eBay International Shipping. And let me tell you something, they're slow as molasses. It might, and they're costly too. And I would think for that price that they could ship it here within a week or something, but it's just not happening. John living in the Philippines, tuning in from Quezon City. How you doing, John? Good to see you on here, man. Michael says non-political reasons to move to the Philippines, lower cost of living, and prettier girls. Um, it's Frederick Walker says, and no ILNO. Okay. Sinfuls. Amazon uses their own services for air parcel service. That's good to know. I might try Amazon actually. I buy a lot of harmonicas. I've been buying a couple of guitars lately, and I'm waiting for those to come too. And there are actually some Les Pauls, Gibson Les Pauls. and I ordered some decent harmonicas. I got this harmonica. It's called the Conjurer. Let's see, the Conjurer, and I got it in G. It's a really good blues harmonica. The sound on it is fantastic. I think I paid about 1,500 pesos on Timu, I think it was, and it's just got a great sound, and it's even great for beginners too. So if you guys are looking for a harmonica to start out on, that's one to get. Um, Digital Nomad says Amazon is pretty good. I've used them a few times. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start using Amazon for some of the stuff. See if I can find it on there. I'm sure I can find all that stuff on there. I just don't know how their prices are. If their prices stack up against Temu and Lazada. I find Temu and Lazada really, really good for their stuff. Um, let's see. Mike Williams says, "Is QuailMed in Nuvali on the same level as St. Luke's and De La Salle?" I've never heard of that, Mike. I've never actually heard of it. Um, Never even heard of that hospital. I'm not maybe because it's in New Valley. I'm just not that familiar with that name of that place. Um, Sinful says he uses Amazon monthly. I'm gonna try now. Sinfuls, how does that work? Do you have to spend $49 on one item or whatever it is to get the free shipping, or is it? Do you have to? It has to all add up to 49. So if like I'm ordering a harmonica that costs $20 or $30, is obviously not gonna reach 49. But if I buy two or three of them, how does that work? RLV says Philippine business ghost month now, August. Digital nomads explore. Steve, I I am Travel Discovery. My channel name changed. Okay, Travel Discovery. Interesting, because that was the Lisa's page, Travel Discovery. She has that same name, I believe, Travel Discovery. Interesting. Okay. Um, Lisa actually has a good channel. I'm almost positive that's Travel Discovery too. Sinfuls, spend $49 on qualified order, so many items, um, but they need to qualify. But they need to qualify for free shipping. Okay. Mike Williams says, Mike Williams says, sinful. Thanks. I love eBay because like I'm bidding on items, and I get some really good harmonicas on there. I bought a lot of like about 66, and I cleaned them up, and they are awesome harmonicas. It was like a little bit over $1 each, so you can't beat that. I mean, I had to clean them, and I have this here. It's like a sonifier. It sonifies them. Sonic cleaning, and let me tell you something. It gets the dirt out. Digital Nomads Explore. Yep, I am Lisa. Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha. Philip Massey, my understanding is that Temu only sends products made in China since it sends direct from there. I prefer to find and order products made elsewhere. Steven says, best time to visit Recon and prep of move. Um, I would say anywhere between January to May is the best time, Steve. Michael says, I didn't think two YouTube channels could have the same name. It's the same person. I thought it was Travel Discovery before, but she said she changed the name, so maybe it was something. I can't remember what it was before then. I thought it was Travel Discovery. Lisa, what was it before? Rick Sponge, hello, Stevie. Have you ever stayed at Tal Hotel near the Ferris wheel? No, I have not. I heard that's a good hotel though. Michael L. eBay is great for esoteric electronic parts as well. You can get almost anything on eBay. They sell like Indian motorcycle parts. They sell everything on everything, like parts for radios, rare radios. So there's people that actually collect old radios. My cousin's husband, he has a whole house full of old radios, and he goes to these meets, these swap meets, and he buys them, and they're quite interesting. Simple says Philip Massey, Timu app has been proven to data mine your phone. Yeah, I found that too. Whenever you talk about something, it goes on there, which is quite interesting. Sinfuls, more so than other apps, LOL. RLV says July PH inflation 4.4%. That's pretty high. Get back about that data mining though. I don't mind people actually showing me stuff I am interested in because it actually makes my life easier. I notice when I go into Temu or I go into Lazada or any of that stuff, it's all stuff that I'm looking for that they're sending me, and it's probably because they're you know they they track you. Philip Massey, another reason I don't use Temu. Jimbo says, does anyone have a moderate estimate for a wedding in the Philippines, 50 people or less? Um, Probably it depends on how much you really want to go. Probably about 2,000, 3,000 if you want to have like a 4,000 tops, depending on where you have it and stuff like that and the costs. They usually keep the prices down. People bring things and they decorate fairly and still make it look awesome. So, Michael, Banco Central raised their interest rates again, resulting in the PH going down 50 to 57. Yeah, I was wondering what was happening with that, Michael. It's kind of funny. I went to the bank the other day and it was like 57, 57.80, and I think it even went lower than that for a while. It went down to 57.20, I think, for a little bit. Sinful's data mine is much different, Steve. It's looking for passwords, logins, etc. Okay, I gotcha. I don't think that they would that if they were doing stuff like that, and that'd be really bad. Digital Nomads Explore, correct. Yes, my channel name was Travel Discovery. It's the same channel, it's still me. Okay, so you didn't really change it then. All right. If you guys are looking for a good channel, it's kind of interesting about traveling. Check out Lisa Buchanan's Travel Discovery. She's got a really, really, really good channel. Um, let's see, Michael L. If you root your phone, you can install a firewall on it to avoid ads. Okay, I don't mind some ads coming through. It depends on what they are. I'm gonna see if I can do something about that. Actually, I want to get some of the ads off there. The ones that pop up on Temu, the ones that actually bother me. But I like Temu, their stuff. Rick Sponge, can I use one phone with dual SIM for PH and US use? Yes, you can actually have three things on there actually, because if you use Magic app, it doesn't have a SIM card, so you could have a smart SIM, you could have uh, any other SIM. There's all kinds of other companies, Smart, Globe, and there's other ones out there now too. So you could put two of those on there. I would go with Smart and Globe, and then put the app on there from Magic app, so you can call the U.S. and get calls from the U.S. too. Simples, yes, Steve, they're doing that. There has been much talk about Timo. I'm gonna have to check that out. Banco Central is attempting to defend the peso. Simple says, Rick Sponge, yes, you can. I have dual SIMs and the U.S. and with the U.S. and fill number. Simple says, my phone can have up to 10 eSIMs. Wow. I wonder if iPhone can have that many. Michael, if I use Temu, I would only order via browser and never install their app. Hmm. Let's see. Sinfuls. Michael L. This exactly. I love Temu stuff though. It's a shame that it's like that. But I also like Lazada, but I noticed that Temu is good for like gadgets and things like that. But Lazada, you can find it, but I find it's a little bit more expensive on Lazada sometimes. Some of their stuff, but Temu has, how you get those ads for like items that you never see. They come across like on Facebook or something like that. I noticed on there that I get all these ads for all these cool things, but I'm afraid to send them money because I don't trust, anything on Facebook coming across like that, trying to reach out to me saying, "Hey, buy this here." But I can go on Lazada and find it for like, 60% off or something like that. And the same with Temu sometimes. I can find the same item, even though it's a great deal already. It's even they beat down the price, and I don't know if it's the same company or what it is, but it's very cheap. Let's see. Michael says, if I use Temu, I would only order. Okay, we already read that one. Sinful says, Michael L. This exactly. Philip Massey says there was the same issue with the TikTok app, data mining your phone. Yeah, that's not good if they're doing that. I don't subscribe to TikTok or any of that stuff. I don't like Facebook, but it's a necessary evil with Messenger and all that stuff. Because in the Philippines, people use Messenger basically as kind of like a phone system. So as long as you put data on your phone so that you can, use internet, you can make phone calls on Messenger. So Simple says never buy from ads on Facebook. Just so many scam. Yes, if I see something on Facebook, I just find it on Lazada. They have this thing on Facebook right now, and you might have seen this, Sinfuls, and I'm looking for it if you ever see one. What it is, and if any of you guys see it, it's a thing. It looks like a airline switch. It has like these red things you flip up, and then you hit the switch, and it's for USB charging. It's a USB charge, and they want like I think they want $80 for it, and it looks like something you probably pay about 20 for at the most. And I'm looking for one of those if anybody ever sees them. Craig Otten, have you tried turning off notifications on Timo? I have not. That's actually a good idea. I'm going to try that now that you mention it. Let me shut this phone off. So let's get some questions going here, though. Craig Jordan, there is a T speculating Banco Central will um, it says CIT interest rates next week. So probably raise them, maybe lower them. Not sure. Craig, which is it? It says will CIT interest rates next week. Not sure what you mean by that. Anyway, if you guys want to shoot, let's get some questions on cut. Oh, cut. Okay. Interest rates. So that's good. I don't mind if they're doing things to help the Filipino people, as long as it's to help the Filipino people. Let's face it, we got it made here as Americans with our money. John living in the Philippines, Messenger is the only one I call back home. It's simple and free. Yeah, I see. Magic app, you pay for it, and it's great for calling back home. You can actually call other countries too, but you have to pay. You have to pump some money into the Magic app. And you can call anywhere in the world outside the U.S. too. Just about. I think there's a few countries you can't, but most you can. Let's see. Philip Massey says, "Are there any good outdoor markets where near you live?" Yes, there are. There's a great outdoor market. There's great outdoor markets here. It's huge. It's big, and it's covered up, and it's hot in there, but it's great shopping for vegetables and stuff. You can also go over to Indang, and they have a good place for shopping for food. Digital Nomads Explore. Are you traveling outside the Philippines soon? um, I'm not planning to right away. I'm still debating whether to go back to the States for a week or two. Sinful says, I didn't have Facebook or Messenger. I signed up for Messenger to call home because my Magic app failed. Also, Messenger has video. Johanna says, good evening, everyone. That's my girlfriend. Rick Sponge says, can I get a Grab all the way from Manila Airport to Tagaytay, or is there other options? You want to know something? When you get a Grab, they won't take you to Tagaytay. They're not supposed to. Okay, so you have to talk to them off the record, and then they'll take you there. Tagaytay doesn't allow Grab. Okay, that was the last thing I heard about Tagaytay over there. But if you make a deal with them when you get in the Grab, put it to some place nearby the airport, and then tell them you want to go to Tagaytay and ask them how much they'll charge you. They'll give you a reasonable amount. That's the only way you can do it. David Hess, good morning, everyone. Tom's away. Do you enjoy durian? I do not eat that. Actually, my girlfriend was trying to get me to eat that today, I think it was. I think that was durian. Sinfuls, Rick Sponge, yes, Grab will do that. Let's see. Yeah, but you can't put it in. If you put it in for Tagaytay, it won't let you put it in. So, Philip Massey, are you on the SRRV visa? Yes, I am. We're actually the people that help people get that. So if Philip, if you're looking to get that, talk to me. You can get me on Steven5975 at yahoo.com. Steven5975 at yahoo.com. If you want to do that, Philip, and I'll help you all the way, and it's free. The lady that helps you gets paid by the PRA to help you. And the only things you're going to pay is the normal fees, and that's it. So don't go to any of these places charging you $1,000. There's no need. Mikey L, with iPhone, it depends which one you have as to which SIM card you can use with it. I get the 12 Pro Max. Craig says, hello from Cebu. How you doing, Craig? Good to see you on here, man. Sinful says, yes, need to negotiate. Yeah, with Grab, you need to negotiate if you guys go to Tagaytay, so just FYI. And he also put up my email. Thanks, Sinfuls. Jimbo says, hello, Johanna. Hello, says YH and David. Okay. Let's see. Philip Massey. I never served in the military, so SRV might be much more difficult for me. It would be more costly. It'll either be 10,000 if you have a pension or 20,000 if you don't have a pension. So just FYI. And you got to be over 50, but they're going to lower that. I'm hearing they're going to lower it to like 40 or 45. Rick Sponge says, I heard skin tap taxes for real there. How do I best manage that? Rick, a lot of people talk about this, and I think it's overblown because I don't know. I've had a few people go up on prices for me, and I just walk. It's probably like once or twice a year that that happens to me. Once you get situated in a town, just try to get known for being stingy and give people that you want to take care of money, but don't let it be known too much that you have money and you're going to take care of everybody. Craig Otten, good Philippines bank for expats. BPI, China Bank, BDO is, I think it's mediocre. Some people don't like BPI either. China Bank is much better, I think. Retired 850, you're the coolest vlogger. Thanks, man. Sinfuls, Craig Otten, I think China Bank, not China owned. No, it's not. We'd mentioned that last week or the week before last. We weren't on last week. I actually went to a party for Sinful's wife, a birthday party the other day. They rented a great Airbnb place. Sinful says, Craig Otten, I think China Bank, not China owned. No, it's owned by like the guy that owns SM and BDO. Philip Massey, I meet the over 50 part for the SRRV. Yeah, so you're all set. You just got to come up with the money. If you want information on it, hit me up on the email address that we just put up, and ask me for my phone number and when to call me. And I'll give you my U.S. number if you want it, or the Philippine number. Tell me which one you want. Okay, Michael L. Durians are banned on the Singapore subway. That should tell you all you need to know. Yeah, it has a weird, terrible smell, but they say it tastes good. But I don't know. Not my cup of tea. Craig, if you plan on getting SRRV, get started on getting your documents apostilled early. Your Secretary of State or agencies may not get at it very quickly. Yeah, most of the places, the state secretaries are pretty fast. They usually get it within a week or two. And I can help you with all that information too. John, living in the Philippines, yes. When the stock market dropped, the dollar dropped here. Michael L says the reason it's called China Bank is because the family that owns it came from China centuries ago. What I heard that the reason they called it China Bank because it was for Chinese Filipinos. That was a story I read, but I could be wrong on that. That's what I read though. Sinfuls, yes, but it's technically owned by the size Filipinos. Yes. Yeah, it's a Filipino-owned bank, but it's Chinese Filipinos, which is not the same as Chinese. Just like an Italian in Boston. So, yeah, Chinese Filipinos. Frederick Walker, is it better to buy pesos in the States or when I get to Manila? When you get to Manila, the banks charge high fees. Going to vacation there for a month in November. Yeah, best to get it at the airport. You'll get a fairly decent rate, better than you will at the banks back home. Okay. Um, Craig Otten says, I'm buying a house here in Bacolod City and need to transfer money. You can transfer money. Sinfuls did it, and he's done over 10,000. I guess you got to. I don't know if you have to report it or what you have to do. I'm not really up on that money transfer over 10,000. I transfer money through Western Union, like up to like 4,000, and they're okay with that. Simple says Frederick Walker in the Philippines. House House of House of Sai is an offshoot of Sai. Um, Retired 850, being married 19 years today to my sweet Filipina. She is from Cebu. I don't want to be near family. Sad but true. Think of BGC. BGC's, I got some friends up there, and they like it up there, but they do say that it gets boring. They have meetups every morning for coffee, and he says the rest of the day kind of drags. There's not much to do up there. If you like exercising and walking, there's not much smog around there. It's it's pretty clean around there. Sinful's, if the money has known source of funds, not an issue. It was far more than 10K. Yeah, I remember you talking about that. But do you have to report that, Sinfuls? Douglas Robinson, you can do 3,000 through Remitly. Ang Hubby says, "Hi Steve, just got my SRV, which took less than 5 weeks. Not, I'm not ex-military, and in the process was relatively easy, thanks to Steve and Mary Rose. Thanks, man. Mary Rose is great, and so isn't Thelma. For what they do. I mean, I help on the flip side and help people do the American stuff, but the things you need and the police reports and the apostles and stuff. Michael L. Savvy Expat Channel is always boosting BGC. Some people like it. I couldn't live there, I don't think. Philip Massey, if you don't have a pension, then I need to deposit 20K in the Philippine bank to get an SRV. Yes. Yes. Yes, Philip. 20,000. And you would get that when you pass away or when you leave. You can put it in your will, which I would do for whoever you want to go to. Make sure you let them know that. Craig Otten, 1.95 million pesos. It's a lot. It is a lot. Let's see. Rick Spud, Steve, how is Alabang to live? Is it far enough, but close enough to Manila? It's actually like kind of the southern part of Manila. Alabang is, to be honest with you, it's almost like part of Manila. Um, it's a nice place. Let's see. So if you're gonna send Craig, if you're gonna send 1.95, I would definitely do it as a bank transfer. Send it as a bank transfer. Don't send it. You can't send that much money through any of those things. You can only send up to so much per year too. Let's see. It's Sinful says, I did not report, never an issue. US bank to BDO dollar. Took 2 days, zero issues. Michael L. Philip Massey, that is correct. 20K USD. Sinfuls, Rick Sponge also looked to Navali. Jeeves Winston, you get it when you pass away. That's when you get it, or you leave. Um, so it goes to your family. Retired 850. How long do you have to be living in the Philippines before applying for the SRV? I was here like a couple days. Literally, I think I was like 3 days later. I was in doing my SRV, and I had it within 14 days. That was a long time ago. That was like 7 years, 6, 7 years ago. So, Michael says I could live in New York City. However, if I choose Manila, I would prefer Pasay. Still a good central location, probably less expensive. Yeah, Pasay's not bad. It has some nice parts of it. I'm not a big fan of Pasay though. Mike D, you know that commercial people who know BDO? I'm trying to figure out what do they know. Let's see. Philip Massey, how is Tagaytay as a place to live? Isn't it cool there? Philip, it's cooler there. It's not a good place to live. Um, there's not a lot to do there. Okay, and getting in and out of there during the tourist season is very difficult. Simple says, Mike D, is there a better bank for customer service? LOL. I've seen vloggers from BGC and Makati, but I wonder why I never see any based in Alabang. Is there much of an expat presence there? There is. I'm not sure why they don't have anybody in Alabang, because Alabang is a beautiful, beautiful place. Um, they have really good healthcare there. They have really good infrastructure. They have really good malls. Um, good Western goods around there. Alabang is actually should be a prime location. There is a lot of expats over there, but they just you don't see them doing any videos. Simples, Rick Sponge. It is cooler here due to so much green space and the winds that come from off Tagaytay. Craig Orton, that $10,000 that you put down for a SRV can be used to buy a house, correct? They have a guy in charge right now. He has put that on hold temporarily, but it probably will go back to where you can buy a house. And they put their name on there as security. And when you leave, it all comes off. So you have to have a lawyer take care of that. It's kind of a pain in the butt, to be honest with you. But yes, you can. Okay. Um, Michael L says, "Damn, I meant BGC, not New York City. Working Excel report and mistyped." Ang Hubby says, "Philip Massey, I'm in Tagaytay at the moment. Still hot, but not quite as hot as Manila." Yeah, during the tourist season, I think it gets just as hot, almost as hot as Manila. It gets hot and muggy over there too. It's Tagaytay is great in the morning and at night. That's when it's cooler. Simful's also New Valley, which is technically Calamba, was voted the cleanest air in the Philippines. I mean, it's still cooler over there. Don't get me wrong, but the smog in Manila is what makes it a lot hotter, you know, and it makes it kind of miserable there. Philip Massey, I heard Alabang, the Beverly Hills of the Philippines. I think that's what someone said about it. You know, that's actually a good way to call it that because there's a lot of when I go over there, there's a lot of movie stars over there. There's a lot of there's actually is some YouTube people over there, but they're Philippine YouTubers and they're famous. The singers over there, you see this guy called Bamboo or something like that. Everybody's like, "Oh, Bamboo goes here." He goes to Chili's, the same Chili's. I've actually seen the guy there. Somebody pointed him out. Otherwise, I wouldn't know who he was. You know, Philip Massey says, "I heard." Let's see, we already read that. Sinful says, "Philip Massey, yes, certain neighborhoods they have chiropractors over there, which they have that Doctor Rob. He has an office there. Really nice office. They have a lot of types of different type. Like we have like herbal medicine stuff there, things like that. You can find if you look around. Doctors that do different types of therapies that you usually don't see that often. They have it in Alabang. Same with BGC and up in Makati too. There's a lot of those places open up like ozone therapy, things like that that are supposed to fight cancer. All that. It's really getting big in the Philippines now. Craig Jordan, climate has changed in Tagaytay over the past 2 decades. It is not as cool as it once was. Craig, I agree with you on that because when I first got over here, it was cool over there, really cool in the morning, and now it's not that cool anymore. Simple's Craig Jordan taking away green space and lots of traffic and building, and that's probably what it is too. They took away a lot of the green space there and the higher buildings and stuff, and it's probably changing a lot of things there. Mike Williams, I've seen condos in Alabang priced pretty high, even more than here in the U.S. Yeah, it can get pretty a bit pricey over there. Even their rentals over there are pretty high. So just FYI. Michael L. Ozone therapy is a scam and medically harmful. Sinful says, I ride early in the morning and it is cool in the morning. Yeah, it's cool. But I mean, I remember being over there. I actually needed a sweatshirt, you know? And then I was over there early one other time and it was actually warmer and it was still early in the morning. Lieutenant Nescafe, never buy condos in the Philippines. You're better off burning your cash in the car park of SNR. Okay. Michael, everywhere is getting warmer every year, even Antarctica. Rick Sponge, is there a Harley dealer there? Yes, there is. I think he's up in Manila somewhere. I've never been there, but I'm pretty sure I heard that there was a Harley dealer there. Craig Jordan, Sinfuls agree. Development had also not been well planned. Sinfuls, Rick Sponge, yes, there is a Harley deal. There is Harley deals. I think they're. I want to say they're probably in Pasay or Makati, one or the other. Maybe even in BGC, but I know there's one up there somewhere. Lieutenant Nescafe, Holly Store is in BGC. There we go. See, ground level of Shangri-La Towers off Fifth Avenue. So I knew it was somewhere up there. Philip Massey, do you drive a motorbike, Steve? No, I do not. Um, I have a problem with my leg from my back, and it can go out anytime because of my back, and that's why I don't even like to drive a car now because of it, because even walking when I'm afraid that when I go to the mall, it's gonna pop out, and I've had that happen at Walmart right down the street here, and I have to sit down for a minute, then sometimes 15 minutes later, I'm okay, and sometimes it's like that for the rest of the day. Mike D, do they have NFL in the Philippines on TV? And is news actually news? Most of the news we get online. News here is not the best news agencies. You really got to get like BBC or you can get Fox News, or CNN, NBC, all that stuff. You can still get it here, but you don't get it as much. I just go on like YouTube, get it on there. You can go to the different sites, whoever's your favorite site. Lieutenant Nescafe, the Philippines Info Channel, run the numbers on owning a condo in the Philippines and trying to rent the thing. You can't cash flow them no matter how you tease the numbers. Make 0 sense on pay. I heard that too. Yeah, it's actually a losing proposition, you know? Philip Massey, I heard Grab is the best way to get around. You can get a Grab account on on a tourist visa. Yes, you can. I'm pretty sure you can. Might have some problems, but you can get on there. Michael L. CNA out of SG is good news as well as Bloomberg Asia. Craig Jordan says Noli DiCastro is a legendary journalist, Steve. LOL. Sinful says, I am renting my condo, have long, it's behind that heart thing on there, long lease. Yeah, Sinfuls does pretty good with his. I know he gets it rented out. We helped him get it rented out before when we showed it. If you guys ever want to check out one of the videos, Sinfuls, we did a video with Sinfuls condo there. It's actually a nice little condo. It's he says, oh, he has have long-term lease. William Crisis says, hi Steve, good evening from Subic Bay. We are catching the Victory liner back to Manila this evening. Mike D, got it. I mainly stick to alternatives too. It's too liberal for me, but what about American sports? You can get American sports, you can get that stuff. You can get these little things that you plug into your TV and stuff, and they work. People tell me they watch sports all the time. I'm just not sure what you call them. I know they have like those sticks. Michael L. The only thing you need, but I'm not one that watches that stuff. I haven't watched sports in God, it's like 8 years, 9 years. Michael L. The only thing you need for Grab is the Philippines TN, and a Philippines SIM is available at the airport. Mike Williams, NFL kickoffs at 1 a.m. Monday morning in the Philippines, but that's okay. I'm actually up at 1 a.m. most of the time. I don't sleep, so I stay up sometimes. Philip Massey, what's the best way to meet a nice girl when they're in person? And it just about anywhere here. I mean, for real. I mean that too. Just hang around with some friends and stuff, and you'll meet nice people. Let's see, Lieutenant Nescafe, 1% rule. If you need to rent the condo for 1% of the assessed value or purchase price, buy a condo for 20 million. When you're renting for 200,000 PHP a month, you can't cash flow that. Rick Sponge, what's the best investments for expats? I am getting a little nervous of the stock market taking a big dive in the near term. You know something? I'm worried about that just because I'm worried about us having like a depression or something like that. And I think we're due for a big depression. We haven't had a major depression since 1920. And you know where we are? We're about 100 years out from that. And that should tell you something. They say history repeats itself. And that has not repeated itself except for small, not small, but pretty good size recessions and stuff, but never what I would call a depression like the 1920s. And if we see that again, man, we're going to be out of commission for a good 10 years. The states will never. I think it'll be worse than before. Michael L. Fire sticks or any other HDMI stick. Yeah, there we go. That's the one. Fire sticks. John, thanks for that, Michael. John living in the Philippines. Fire stick. Angelo Kalima, watch Pogo leaving Philippines this coming December, meaning a lot of condominiums will be on sale. What do you think, guys? I think you'll see a lot of rentals up there for really cheap money, but most of the place where those people stay are not that nice. So a lot of Filipinos will move into those. Craig Jordan, I have found that many expats had left their sports life back in the US, no longer fans. That's true. There's not too many people that follow sports here anymore. At least I don't. I don't know too many people that do. Sinful's Angelo Kalima, I agree. There is 121K Pogo Chinese workers that have to leave. 121,000. That's a lot of people, man. Mike D. Well, I know we try not to get political, but Kamala doesn't exactly make me have faith in our system. Joey did us in, but whatever. LOL. Michael L. Stock market is going good. U.S., EU, SG stock markets are still great. Philip Massey, 20K sounds might be a good investment for SRRV visa, especially if our money becomes devalued. Probably. At least it's sitting there and it's still, alive. Whereas it crashes and disappears in the stock market. John says, Steve, I am planning a trip to Palawan when school break starts. Have you ever been there? And if so, any recommendations on where to stay that is safe and clean? I have not been to Palawan. I've been to Sikihor. I'm not a huge fan of Palawan too much because it's kind of like way south. But I heard it's nice there and it is safe there. William Kreitzer says, "Hi Steve, are Sinfuls and Justin related? No, no, they're not. No, they don't look anything alike." Jimbo L, is there a depression? It will be global. Thanks a lot, WEF. Sinfuls, LOL, no. Yeah, God help us. Lieutenant Ness, yeah, obviously, I don't think you ever seen him then. Let's see. Sinful says, Lieutenant Nescafe, yes. Sinfuls, glad I bought my condo in 2012 before they broke ground, so much lower cost. Philip Massey, I'm thinking it would be a good to invest in a foreign country to hedge against recession. Maybe Singapore would be better. Singapore would probably be a good investment. Philippines is actually a good place to invest right now too because it's growing. From the time I got here till now, I've seen the economy, everything grow here. Angelo Klim, what do you think? Nvidia is good to buy 105 a share. I haven't followed stocks enough to even talk about that right now, so I wouldn't even venture to guess on it. Michael, Nvidia is now a bubble stock. Do not buy. There's your answer right there. Michael's up on stuff like that. Lieutenant Nescafe, John, save yourself a trip, 3 to 4 hour drive to see anything from the airport. Poor infrastructure, food, total ball ache. Just good for a postcard and say you've been. So he's talking. I take it he's talking about Palawan. Frederick Walker, the Great Depression and the worst recessions all have one thing in common. Yeah, but the Great Depression was long and it was terrible too, and people were in the streets, starving and hungry. Michael L. Angelo, did Nvidia finally do its 10-to-1 stock split? Rick Sponge, we should we just ride the money markets for near term and then buy in with dollar cost averaging during the crash? I don't know. For me, I used to pull out whenever they were starting to talk crash, and then it would crash, and then I'd throw the money back in because you're buying at the bottom, but you didn't know really where the bottom was, but you were buying a lot cheaper. Jeeves Winston, yes, around 1,200, it split. Jeeves, 10-to-1. Let me see. Philip Massey, I bought Nvidia when it dipped to 100, but it does seem overvalued. I was in that a long time ago until Ameritrade told me that I couldn't have an account here. I'll call it Nescafe. If you fly Airsoft, you can land in El Nido instead of Puerto Princesa. That's interesting. John says, thanks, Lieutenant. I appreciate the feedback. Where would you recommend to go with teenage kids? Something you might think about checking out Sikihor. Sikihor was beautiful when I was there. Sikihor, I'm definitely gonna go back there, and I would stay at that place that we went. It was something Cocoa Grove. Airsoft is a good airline, much better than Cebu Pacific. If you guys want to go someplace with nice beaches, crystal clear water, Sikihor is a good place. Not just for another reason, also because there's not a lot of tourists there. You can ride around there on a motorcycle or a scooter or whatever, and it's totally safe because there's nobody on the roads there. William Kreitzer, just a warning to expats: don't drink the tap water. I got sick my first week here drinking from the water faucet. Well, that goes without saying. You don't drink. It's like Mexico. Lieutenant Nescafe at John Hong Kong, Macau, Vietnam, Singapore, Korea, Japan. Sinfuls, William Kreitzer. I've been coming here for 21 years. I never drank tap water. Michael L. Angelo, SG is the cleanest city I have ever seen. It's a technocratic meritocracy, and if I was 30 years younger, I would immigrate in a heartbeat. Craig Jordan says, William Kreitzer, ouch. Yeah, drinking the water here, man, it's like drinking sewage. Reminds me of that. Remember that show Jackass that they used to have? I think it was on MTV or whatever, and the guy jumps in with scuba gear into the sewage treatment plant. I mean, that's basically what you're drinking when you're drinking water from here. You know. Sinful says, Singapore, are foreigners allowed to invest in the Philippine stock market? Yes, you can. There's ways. Sinful says, Singapore, Smallville. Hey, Steve, just wanted to say hello. I made it to the Philippines 1 month ago. I talked to you on the phone once. I'm in Cebu. Really like it here so far. Thanks for all the helpful videos. No problem, man. I got a friend of mine, Carl. He lives down there. Carl's a nice guy. Jean Paul, Singapore. We actually were great friends back in the United States at one time. We got separated and then we met over here again. You know. Jean Paul, Singapore is way more expensive. Malaysia is better choice if infrastructure is high. On the list, I would definitely choose Malaysia over Thailand. I heard Malaysia is really nice. Jimbo L. So don't even use tap water to brush your teeth, right? I use tap water here to brush my teeth, and then I just flick it to get all the water off of it, you know? PH expat prepper lived in Penang, Malaysia for 2 years. It is very nice. Mike Williams says, I was looking for a resort in Coron that I stayed 2 years ago. Prices more than double. I missed COVID prices. Let's see, what do we got? 57 people, 29 thumbs up. Thank you, guys. Berto Seth is on board from Sweden. He says, greetings from Sweden and Annie and me. Today, Annie has picked 10 liters of blueberries in our forest. Good fishing in the lake, Bowman. Thanks for good work, YouTube. Yeah, Berto, I might actually be heading to Sweden sometime in the next few years. I'm considering it to go visit my niece over there and to visit some of my relatives. Simples, Jimbo, just don't swallow. LOL. There we go. Craig Jordan, William Kreitzer, use caution ordering iced drinks in bars and restaurants too. Yes. Michael, Malaysia is dominated by Islam. Singapore is a secular state. Lieutenant Nescafe, Jean Paul, anywhere in Southeast Asia for food is fantastic. Shame food never got off the ground in the Philippines. That's kind of true, sadly. Philip Massey, how often do you do meetups, Steve? Would you like to join? Would like to join you when I arrive there. We do them about once a month or once every 2 months. Do you have a mailing list or a Facebook group? I don't have a Facebook group, but I do have a list here. Sometime in the future, try to contact me on the phone and I can put you on our list. Get in touch with me at steven5975@yahoo.com and we will email you. Okay. And we are going to have one the 19th of this month at Evia Mall at Texas Roadhouse there at 1:30 p.m., guys. So Sinful says, Craig Jordan, I'll get a can of Coke and they bring a glass of ice. I tell them I don't need a drink. I drink from the can. There we go. Jimbo L says, got it, Sinfuls. Michael L says, Sinfuls, yes, the can is the best. Smallville, I'm planning on meeting a friend in Manila in October. Maybe I can meet you at some point when I make it over that way. Yes, I meet with some people sometimes, but usually they come down here. Craig Otten, Sikihor was a wonderful place, but we had power outages every day when we were there. I didn't have any when I was there. Lieutenant Nescafe, Sinfuls, yes, the learned helpfully unhelpful course at the local TESDA tourism and hospitality program. And we got my email there for you guys that want to get my phone number. Just hit me up for it, and I'll send it to you. Tell me whether you want the Philippine one or the American one. Okay. The Westons. Hi, Steve. Thank you for your info channel work. What is SG City mentioned about? I think that means Singapore. He was talking about. Uh, Sinful says at Weston, Singapore. So yeah, Jean Paul. The problem is the quality of ingredients and seasoning. If you eat a better Philippine restaurant, you might actually like the Filipino food. Philip Massey and Angeles City worth visiting? No, I'm not into bars and walking street. I was just up there the other day and I did not like it. It just didn't offer me anything. Craig Jordan, Sinfuls, wipe the can well before drinking. I am kind of funny that way. Yeah, I always wipe my can. Yeah, that sounded wrong, but it was, you know what I mean. The Westons, give some give some thumbs up, guys. Thanks. He's got the Sinfuls put up the Vista Malls thing here. Sinfuls, Craig Jordan, I lick it. LOL. There we go. Joke. Rick Sponge, Stevie, can I get sleep aids there, say at CVS or equivalent store? Yes. I think they gotta be prescribed, but it's only $6 to see a doctor, so it's no big deal. Riddle Self, come in August, then we have a crayfish party like tonight. I'll try to. I'll try to Bertle. I'll see when I really, really do want to go to Sweden. I'd like to take my girlfriend there, and I don't know if I can take her there or not. I'm gonna have to find out about that. William Kreitzer, you're right about Udemy, Steve. Uh, my wife has taken some computer course. The classes are free. You know, Udemy is a great, great place to get courses, guys. And we were talking about that in my video today. Not too many people actually watch that video. I get videos that people love, but when I put something on there that's like self help or something like that, some people like them, some people don't. Some do really well, some don't. But when I took that harmonica course, I love it. I actually enjoy it, and I can talk to the guy that's doing the course, which makes it even more fun. Let's see. Philip Massey says, I learned a lot about cloud computing on Udemy. Really pushed my career forward. Sinful says, don't take Ambien. Studies have shown that it cuts about 10 years off your life. I used to take it. I quit. You know something, Sinfuls? All those, according to a thing that I read, shorten your life. I don't like taking mine either, and I suffer really bad from insomnia. I go through 5-day cycles, and I crash, and then I go through the cycle all over again. Jimbo L, next Thursday on flight from Chicago, the airline let me pick my seat. Oops, sorry, that's inappropriate to say. Let's see, Mark, where can I get some good salami? I'm not sure. Probably at SNR. Frank, how many are often are brownouts where you live, Steve? Very few, very, very few. Maybe once a year for a little while, short time, it comes right back on. Sometimes we get some 5-minute brownouts or blips, power blips, like for less than a minute. Smallville says, besides Hep A and B, are there any other shots you recommend? Um, Not really. Some people would say get a rabies shot or something like that. I think rabies was one of them. Um, but I wouldn't even worry about that one. Alprazolam is better than Ambien. Well, I've had all that stuff, and I don't like any of it because I just don't think it's good for you. Sinfuls, that's how I do it. Tired, then crash. Yeah, I go like 5 days sinfuls, and then each day I get more tired until finally I'll fall asleep at like 4 or 5 in the afternoon. I won't wake up the next day till 11. So that's how bad it is. Simples, that's how I do it. Then crash. Simples, mock. Oh, I am not touching that. LOL. Philip Massey, best bet is to try natural remedies to sleep like chamomile tea. That really doesn't help me that much. Chamomile is actually good for your kidney and your liver, though. So I do take it. Sinfuls, I have one brownout in at least in the last year that lasted 4 hours. The redneck says, "Good evening, Steve. I'm sitting here in Alabama. I'll be back in September. Thanks for all the info you gave me at VA OPC in 2019. Great channel. All benzos suck." Philip Massey, tetanus shot should also be yes. Thanks for bringing that up, Philip. That was the one I was trying to think of. B. William, I'm very strict about things in the Philippines when it comes to my money and how I spend Philippines. People don't like this because I'm not so open. It's not good to be open here. It's if people know too much about you, it's not a good thing. Rick Sponge, Stevie, is it tough to sleep because of no noisy roosters? No, it's super quiet where I live, and I put on a white noise machine, and you really don't even need that. But I just like it makes me go to. It does help me rest. I'll say, doesn't make me go to sleep. Mark had two brownouts. Mark says had two brownouts. First 3 weeks we lived in Tracy Mart Terrace. See, I don't have them where I'm at. I don't. It's not that bad here. Michael L. 2 shots of Disaronno along with some melatonin and alprazolam works for shift disorder since I work third shift. Craig Jordan says message retracted. Retired 850, went to the VA yesterday. They have new pneumonia. I got the pneumonia shot. COVID, I won't take anymore. A flu shot, I did take that. Didn't get any, just the tetanus shot. Simple says, Rick Sponge, where I live, there is no roosters. Very quiet at night, like a cemetery. Michael L. Steve, is it not good to be too? It is not good to be too open anywhere. I agree. Especially here, though. Craig Jordan, how many pesos per kilowatt hour in Cavite? I don't know. I think it was. I think I said 17 before or something like that. I can't remember. 12. It was 12 or 7. I can't remember. I'm sorry. My girlfriend takes care of that, and I don't take care of that too much. I think it. I want to say 12. Okay. Let's see. Philip says, how much pesos do you carry on your person when you go out for the day? I usually don't carry much at all. My girlfriend carries it. She usually takes care of everything. She I budget the money and I give her what we need, and I'll carry a few pesos sometimes. Usually I use my credit card to eat out or something, and I pay it at the end of the month. John living in the Philippines, no more sleeping pills from me. I go natural, a few beers in the evening and lights out. Mark, that was in May. Okay. Yeah, in May we had a few for one reason or another. Rick Sponge, what about shingle shot? I don't think you really need that here, Rick, but I got it last time I went to the VA, and they say I have to get another one next time I go in. So Joe Grutz is on board. Joe, let me know. Give me a call soon if you want one of those places soon, because I think I already gave you the number of the guy. I've got all the information here. I think I sent it to you because we got people that are locking those down, and one is locked down already. Possibly we're gonna have another one. Simfils number 12.1 PHP from me here in New Valley. Uh, you were about the same, Steve. Yeah, yeah, that's what it was. It was 12. I wasn't sure what it was, 12 or 17. It's 12, guys. Michael, yes, on the shingle shot. If you ever had chicken pox in the past, see, I had chicken pox, and that's why my doctor recommended that. And the kids up above here just had chicken pox too, just last week. Angelo Kalima, check your magnesium. I actually take magnesium. We just ran out of it too. Let's see, we're about to up to 60 minutes here. Mike Williams, I've been traveling with foam ear plugs for over 30 years. Next September on Banyan Island, there was also a discotheque next door that blasted music till 2 a.m. The earplugs worked great. I slept like a baby. Joe Gutza, I've got the email as well. Okay, as long as like if you're talking with the guy, I would try to put some money down to lock it down though. Ask him what he wants because they're getting close to being done. They have it all built. They just have to put everything inside it now. They have very little to do on the outside. Craig Jordan, my research has told me 12 kilowatts per hour is a national average. However, pricing down here in the Visayas is not always consistent from billing cycle to billing cycle. Simple says, I take magnesium and B12 Get plenty of vitamin D naturally. Jeeves Winston, haha. Power outage in Vermont this summer alone was half a dozen. Debbie just knocked out the power to 47K last night. Wow, in Vermont. A foreigner telling the truth in the Philippines. Kumastad dong. You are looking healthy, tan, and well. Life is suiting you, obviously. Thanks, man. Michael L says, for those of us who have been lucky enough never to have chickenpox, get the vaccine for chickenpox, as chickenpox as an adult is far worse than getting it as a child. I agree. I heard it's really bad. Philip Massey, anything I should bring with me that's super difficult to get in the Philippines? Clothing sizes. Um, if you're if you're like an extra large or double extra large, those are hard to get over here. See, if I watch a video with a snake attacking the bird, are snake bites dangerous? Yes. There's some deadly snakes here, and one that was a deadly snake. That was a pit viper. If so, can the hospital give emergency medicine to neutralize the venom? I'm gonna actually do some research on that probably in the coming months, and I'm gonna try to find out about that more. I'm gonna ask my doctor actually. Sinfuls, William Kreitzer, snake venom is not widely available. Sinfuls, you would think it would be, but it's not available if cheap. Uh, Jean Paul, Dumagetti wheel of power charge 1 month is 4 pesos per kilowatt hour. Next month, 7 kilowatt hours, then 8. Michael L. Sinfuls, do you mean anti-venom? Yeah, anti-venom. Let's see, Craig Jordan says, Gene Paul, my experience too, the neighbor island. So I'm probably going to finish up probably in about 15 minutes, guys. Um, kind of tired this week, and we'll try to be on here next week. I know last week we weren't on here. If I'm not on here, just come back the week later and I will be on here. But we'll try to keep maybe do another 15, 20 minutes, see how this keeps on rolling here tonight. It's rolling pretty good. Maybe we'll go longer. Craig Jordan, Gene Paul, my experience too on the night neighbor island. Retired 850 at the VA, weigh in yesterday, lost 41 pounds this year, 69 more pounds to go. Sinful says retired 850. Good news. Keep going. That's excellent. Actually, I wish I could lose some weight. I need to lose about 30 pounds, 25 pounds. B. William, Gcash app is the best. Card verified, the best. Mike D. How much for really good medical range? I'm not sure what you're talking about. You're talking about insurance or to see a doctor or whatever. Insurance here is you can get fairly reasonable depending on what you have for pre-existing conditions and stuff like that. There's no like fixed rate. It really depends on what you're looking for. Because there's good, there's excellent, and there's you know there's all types of insurance. Philip Massey, what are the best places to visit around Manila, Baguio, or other places nearby? Around Manila, there's a lot of places, man. Baguio's people like it there. I don't see the attraction just because it's cool. About the medical though, if you guys want to, if you Mike, if you want to talk to somebody, talk to Michael Onstad on Messenger, Onstad, Michael Onstad, Onstad, and he can give you prices on insurance if that's what you're talking about. Chicken boxes, shingles, and adults. Gene Paul, I order white fruit of loom and the Hanes 2XL on Shopee, American size, and a box of shorts, Shopee, real deal, cotton, not the fake stuff. William says, walking is good for weight loss here. I dropped from a size 52-inch to a 48-inch waist. Michael L. B. William, Gcash gives no rewards. Also, paying for a foreigner to get verified on it. Yeah, I don't use Gcash. Jeeves Winston, Steve, I'm in my 18-month window to retire, having one more year. I thought of blowing my head. Did you have any reservations before you retired? No, nope. Um, I worked for the Lawrence School Department as a school safety officer, and the people in that place were the most toxic people I had ever met in my entire life. I met a lot of good people there, but the people that were in charge were the most toxic human beings, and In fact, when I left, they told me that if I ever talked about that, that I would never be able to be hired back again. And I was not worried about getting hired or getting anything because I was leaving and I was retiring. So I don't really care. But they actually had to warn me and tell me, don't talk about, how bad the school department is or you'll be blackballed, and I was like, that's a nice way to go, you know? And they told everybody that. It wasn't just me. They told everybody when they were leaving. Craig Jordan, limit sugar consumption and exercise. A foreigner telling the truth in the Philippines, Mike D. I can tell you from experience, top cover health insurance is a must. I know after getting pneumonia in Cebu, I nearly died and without insurance history. I've had pneumonia probably about 9 times now, and I've had it a couple times here. And when you get it, it's really, really bad for me because when you get it, you're more prone to get it again. And now I get the pneumonia shots like clockwork every 5 years. Michael S. says, Mark, shingles is recurrent. Varicella zoster. The first time you get it, it's called chickenpox. When I got that's another thing. When I got the shingles vaccine, I was in pain for like 2 to 3 days straight from that shot. And that's just part of that shot, unfortunately. It's your body fighting it off. Sinful says, if I stay in Manila more than 3 days, we'll get pneumonia, probably from the pollution. When I go up in pneumonia, most of the time I'm in the van and the AC's on and stuff like that, or I'm in a building or I'm in the PRA or whatever. And I'm up there at least 1 day a week. But when I come back, I notice I'm coughing a little bit. So he says, yes, the pollution. Mr. Slick 66 is on board. I'll tell you, Steve, I feel at work. I feel at work every day. It's all in eminence front. Unfortunately, my plans to come over this October, I've been pushed till next year, but I'd rather be well prepared with more dollars. It's true, man. I promised myself that I would retire at 55. I promised that to myself when I was like 30 something years old. And when I went through a divorce, it took almost everything from me. And I busted my ass for 5 years from the time I was 50 to 55 to pay off every damn bill. And it was the hardest thing and to do, working 7 days a week and saving and putting away money. And I was lucky. Sinful says I have sensitive lungs. I have the same thing. But to go back to Slick 66 there, I get it. And it's a good thing to do. Michael L says inhalable beta 2 agonists and inhalable corticosteroids can compensate from Manila air successfully. It it might, but when you open up your lungs, you're also making that stuff go in deeper into your lungs. A foreigner telling the truth in the Philippines. Yeah, Steve. I uh, I also have end stage COPD, so even a common cold knocks me for six. Yeah, it's when you get pneumonia, you're always prone to getting that back. And I've had it one time where I almost died. I had my father kind of adopted this guy into the family. He was a young guy, and he was almost like a brother. And his name was Mike. And Mike got pneumonia, and he let it go too long, and he died. And I had never heard of anybody dying of pneumonia. I always thought of it more like a flu. And I knew people did die, but I was shocked when he died. Michael L says, better medicine, don't go to Manila. Gene Paul, I find Dumaguete overpriced and overrated. I'm moving back to northern Cebu. Gene, I hated Dumaguete. I was only in there for like a couple hours just to go to Sikihor, and I hated it. John says, Lieutenant, the kids have never been any place in the PI, so I really want them to see some sites in the PI. Angelo Kalima says, check your vitamin D research, NAC for respiratory. I take vitamin D. Sinful's got plenty of vitamin D naturally. Michael L says vitamin D3 is good, NAC, and its issues. However, but let's see what we got. 10:30. So who else we got on here today? We have a good crowd in here tonight. We got the conversation going good. 57 people, 45 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. So let's keep this going now. But if you get a cough here, it does seem to linger longer. If you get a cold or a flu or something, and you're traveling into Manila or any place that's got a lot of smog, it's gonna hang on for a while. It just seems like the pollution in Manila does a job on you. Fortunately, where I'm at, the air is pretty clean, but we still get a little bit of smog here sometimes. Tracy Martera's downtown is pretty can be pretty congested and polluted, but it's not like Manila by any means. Once you get out of that haze, it's pretty clean. So, see, William Chris says, Gene Paul, we met Mark Thornton and Dumageddon. I agree, it is somewhat overrated, but famous vloggers everywhere. I didn't meet any vloggers there. People wanted me to come see them there, and I just didn't have the time because I was heading over to Sikihor, and that was my vacation. I didn't want to be seeing vloggers or anything like that, even though I was invited. Um, it's just not my thing. Philip Massey, are there a lot of places that accept credit cards, or just big chain stores? Mostly big chain stores. Some McDonald's do. Most restaurants do. Places like that, but it's mostly in the malls. Sinful says Philip Massey, in my area, almost everywhere accepted credit cards except where I get my haircut. Yeah, haircuts are so cheap, man. It's like I pay 100 pesos for a haircut. I usually get a shave, have him do my eyebrows and trim my beard or something like that, and I give the guy like 300, 400 as a tip because I feel bad paying him less than that. Because the guy just does a really good job. A foreigner telling the truth in the Philippines. Sinfuls, I go outside at night, shine a flashlight upwards, and see the pollution in the beam. You're breathing all that crap in 24/7. Michael L. says, I have asthma as well. Without my meds, I only have lung capacity of 300 liters. However, with my meds, I breathe 700 liters in minutes. A minute. Okay. Sinful is a foreigner telling the truth in the Philippines. Not my area. I have the cleanest voted in the Philippines. Yeah, your air is really clean over there. You can even tell when you're over there. Sinful says for city per capita. So let's see, what do we got now? Hour 12 minutes. Okay. Michael L says daily flutasone inhaler plus leukotriene inhibitor gives me better than normal air capacity. Sinful is just when I'm in Manila, I have issues. I have a little bit of issues there too. We're at about 49 right now, guys, and I think I'm going to end this in about 2 minutes. So I want to thank everybody for coming on here, and I'll keep on reading a few of these and answering a few. But I'm gonna head off to bed soon. I'm kind of tired tonight. See if I can get some sleep tonight. Mike Williams says that Life Beyond the Sea guy had a great step-by-step vlog on how foreigners can get Gcash. William Kreitzer says Tracy is decent. You are nearby De La Salle Hospital. That is strategic for survival. I agree with that. Mike William knows. I De La Salle I've seen help a lot of people here, a lot of expats here and other people. The Weston Sinfuls, what area are you in with the cleanest air? He's was like New Valley area in Columba, he just says. Philip Massey, do you see a lot of large age gap relationships where you live? Yeah, I do, but you know something, I see it, but I see like these old guys that look like they're in their 80s, and I saw some today at the mall. Some guys in their 80s, and they didn't really look that healthy. And the girls weren't the best looking girls, but I mean, for the age gap, I mean, hey, and they're probably looking for a guy because they're not the best looking girls, you know. Michael L says, thanks for the live stream and a good chat. I hope you have a good sleep and pleasant dreams. Thanks, man. So we're gonna sign off here after I read a few more here. Columbus City was titled the cleanest air in the Philippines and ranked 6th in the Southeast Asia. Report by Swiss Air Monitoring Company. And William Kreitzer says, take care, Steve. We are headed to Victory Line Terminal here in Olongapo. We'll reach Manila before 3 a.m. So thanks, guys, for joining us. I want to thank Michael and Sinfuls for being great moderators tonight. That always helps, having somebody moderate the channel. And we're lucky that we haven't been attacked in a long time, which is really nice. And I think that the guy that was doing it has slowed down a lot, hopefully. I hope he finally grew up. But anyway, we will probably be on next week. More than likely, we will be on next week. Okay, unless we have some problem or something comes up or whatever. But more than likely, we will be on next week. Okay, and God bless everybody. Take care, and we will see you soon. And be sure to watch this week's vlogs that we got coming up. We got some good vlogs coming up, and watch that vlog that I put out the other day about passing away, because there's a book out there, and I talk about that book for you guys that didn't see it. And it's a great book, and you can get it on Temu. You might even be able to get it on Lazada. And it's just a great book that you can write it out for your wife or your girlfriend or whatever, or family, and everyone will know how to take care of all your stuff when you pass away. God bless, guys. Take care.